Hello friends, hope you are doing fine. So here I'm starting with a series to learn ECG. Today I'm starting with ECG part 1. In this series we will ECG in various parts. Okay. So my overall objective of this starting this series is that you have to attain certain objectives. First is to identify different components of the ECG waveform, then to apply the rule of 10 to analyze and evaluate the ECG rhythms, then identify common dysrhythmias, their causes, consequences, and how to manage these patients, and how to identify the ECGs, and to be able to quickly identify the most common and life-threatening arrhythmias. But will be dealing only on two aspects, and later objectives will be fulfilled in the later videos. The first two objectives are anatomy and physiology of the heart. Second is coronary, pulmonary and systemic circulation. So in this part we will be covering only these two objectives. Introduction to heart anatomy and physiology. So basically friends, you know what is heart? Heart is basically a pump, or it's a part of circulatory system of a human body, and it's like a pump. It is just pumping the blood in and out. Okay, it is taking the blood in from the body in the impure form, and then it is pumping towards the lungs, and from the lung it receives oxygenated blood, that is called oxygenated blood, or we can say pure blood, and then this blood goes towards the systemic circulation, towards aorta and our arteries, etc., where the metabolizing tissues need oxygen. So first aspect is where it is located, where the heart is placed inside the body. So heart is basically a small and roughly the size of your fist. मतलब जो आपकी मुट्ठी है उसी size का आपका heart होता है. Okay, so it is like you can see that the heart is lying in middle of the chest. Okay, but there's a thing here to remember is that the 2/3 portion of the heart is lying to the left side of the body. So heart is primarily located in the is more towards the left side of the body. Okay, and where it is located? It is located in the mediastinum. Mediastinum is basically a space between behind there is a spinal cord. Like you can see, the heart is in the mediastinum. In front of it there is sternum, and behind of it is spine. Okay, so it is basically a small space where a heart lies, and it is located between two lungs. Anteriorly there is sternum, posteriorly there is spine, and laterally there are lungs. Heart is a muscular organ lying between these various various body organs. So the heart is basically located in a very different position, means it is an upside, it's an upside triangle, means like you can see like it's a triangle, पर इसका जो base है, the base is on the upside and the pointed part is on the lower side. So it's an upside triangle whose base is on the upside and the apex is on the lower side, so it's an upright triangle. Okay, so so अगर कोई आपसे पूछता है where is the location of the heart, you have to say that it is located in the mediastinum, in the thoracic cavity, between the two lungs. Anteriorly there is sternum and posteriorly there is spine. So it is a very simple answer. Okay, then where is the apex and where is the base of the heart? Okay, apex कहाँ है heart का? Apex is basically the tip of the left ventricle. See, this is the apex of the heart and this is the broad base of the heart. जो ऊपर का हिस्सा है that is the base and the lower side is the apex of the heart. Okay, so the base of the heart होता है that is upper side, it is made up of the posterior surface. It is basically formed by the atria. यहाँ पे atria है, right atrium, left atrium. So the base is formed by the atria, and this tip, that is apex, it is formed by the tip of the left ventricle. So the apex is formed by the tip of the left ventricle, while the base is formed by the posterior surfaces of the atria. I hope it is very clear. Coming to dimensions. So like you can imagine that this is a small organ and it has to supply the whole body. Okay, it has to generate a pressure so that the blood can go far away to meet each and every tissue's oxygenation demand. Coming to its dimensions, so in an average person of like in an adult male, it is about 300 grams, and in an average or an adult female, it mass is 250 grams. If you come to its size, it just measures like if the size is just like your fist, जो आपकी मुट्ठी का size है, it has the same size. So dimensions are like 12.5 into 9 centimeter, and its weight, agar if it is asked in your MCQ question and all, it just varies, but it normally varies in an adult person from 255 to 340 grams. But the size actually varies. Like if a person is athlete or is in lot of physical exercises, then his heart is going to be more heavy because heart is working more. So it has the principle of working. अगर आप किसी organ को ज़्यादा use करोगे, it would be more bulky and more functional. So in the athletes, the heart is going to weigh more, while in the elderly, where they become fragile and their systems start degenerating, the heart weighs less. The weight of the heart gets lower. Okay. Next part, that is layer. This is most important. Okay. So coming to basically the layers of the heart. So there are three layers of the heart. Okay. The first is epicardium, second is myocardium, and third is endocardium. Okay. The epicardium is basically a thin layer. It is a very thin layer and it is made up of squamous epithelial cells. Sometimes it is asked in the questions or in the nursing officer exams which cells make the epicardial layer. So these are the squamous epithelial cells that makes the epicardium. Coming to the second layer, that is myocardium. Myocardium is a muscular smooth muscular area or a smooth muscle. It is largely responsible for contraction. The heart is responsible for pumping. So this layer is most functional in that area. Coming to endocardium. Endocardium is basically the layer that is closely lining the heart. Means it contains small blood vessels, endothelial cells and all. Okay. So these are the three basic layers of the heart. So basically it's just not the heart is lying in the mediastinum in between lungs, sternum and the vertebra and pumping itself. No, there is a proper covering of the heart so that it do not go, it should not be interfering with others function, and it should not be vigorously, it should be in some, it is in a bag, but that is called as pericardium. Pericardium is basically a membrane that surrounds and protects the heart. It is called as pericardium. The function of इसका function ये है that it confines the heart to its position in the mediastinum, while it allows the sufficient freedom of movement for vigorous and rapid contraction. It doesn't allow the heart to go rapidly. It allows its smooth functioning. So pericardium itself has two layers. First is fibrous pericardium, second is serous pericardium. Fibrous is the outer layer, while the serous is the inner layer. Fibrous, as the name is suggesting you, it is dense, rough kind of cover is fibrous pericardium, while serous is a smooth kind of covering, and it has later subparts. Later subparts are called as parietal layer and visceral layer. Okay, so the deeper layer or the layer that is in contact with the epicardium is the serous pericardium. Okay, the outer is parietal layer. Okay, so in between these two layers there is a space that is called as pericardial space. Pericardial space आप लोगों को पता होगा that it has some fluid. Okay, between the parietal layer and visceral layer there is one space that is called as pericardial space, and in between this pericardial space there is pericardial fluid, and this pericardial fluid helps in smooth contraction or smooth functioning of the heart, because it releases in between these layers. There are certain cells that release some kind of secretory or some kind of slippery secretions that allows a kind of smoothing and does not allow the friction between the layers. It basically reduces friction between the layers of the serous pericardium as the heart moves. So the space that contains this few ml of pericardial fluid is called as pericardial cavity. So generally it is also asked in the papers that how much amount of fluid is there. So it is just 15 to 20 ml amount of pericardial fluid is there. Okay, like from SVC and IVC the blood comes in the right atrium, and from right atrium when the blood gets filled in the right atrium, the valves open and the right ventricle get filled, and this valve get, the pulmonary valve get, sorry, the tricuspid valve get closed. Okay, and when the pressure inside the right ventricle increases, then the pulmonic valve opens. Okay, and then this blood goes towards the pulmonary trunk and then towards the lungs. So this is called as pulmonary circulation, where the heart is pumping the blood towards the lungs. Okay, then comes like when the lungs is performing the oxygenation, the blood comes towards the left atrium through pulmonary veins. Okay, the blood gets filled in the left atrium and then it comes to the left ventricle. From left ventricle it goes through the aortic valve into the aorta. Okay, and then it is giving the blood towards the system or towards the human body, towards the tissues or towards the organ. Then it is called as systemic circulation. So they are basically towards the body, pulmonary circulation towards the lungs. See, like in this, like this is the aorta that is carrying the oxygenated blood. From this, from the root of the aorta near to the aortic valve, there is one single branch. Okay, there is one single branch from where the coronary artery or coronary artery tree arises. The blood also has to get the oxygen, so the coronary artery arises from there. There is a single branch from where this right coronary artery and then this left coronary artery bifurcates. So there are two arteries, right coronary artery and left coronary artery. From the left coronary artery, further there are two branches. Circumflex is the artery where it goes, it encircles the heart and goes towards the posterior surface, while the other branches, this left anterior descending artery comes towards the anterior, it goes towards the anterior part of the left ventricle, while the right coronary artery, it goes backwards and towards downwards of the right ventricle. So there is a common branch from, there is a right coronary artery going towards the right side of the heart, then there is left coronary artery going towards left side of the heart, then there is left anterior descending artery. Left anterior descending artery is supplying the large part of the left ventricle. So in the previous centuries, the left anterior descending artery was called as widow artery, because when they in the post-mortem, when they see that when a lot of men when dies, they do the post-mortem and they see that this is the only artery that is blocked. So they thought that this is the artery making the female widow. They called it as widow artery. This is called as left anterior descending. It has further branches of diagonal 1, diagonal 2, etc. From left circumflex artery, the left coronary artery arises left circumflex artery. From there is obtuse, marginal and all. Then this right coronary artery, it goes backward and it makes a posterior descending artery and supplies the inferior or posterior part of the heart. Okay, now let's see which artery supplies which part of the heart. So in the previous slide we have learned that there is right coronary artery. Right coronary artery is basically supplying this right atrium and right ventricle. Okay, then coming to left coronary artery. Left coronary artery has one major branch, that is left anterior descending artery. It is supplying it is going downwards, and there it is supplying the left ventricle, some part of the right ventricle and interventricular septum also. Okay, then coming to left marginal artery, it comes backward and it supplies the left ventricle. Okay, coming to right marginal artery, it supplies the right ventricle and apex of the heart. And coming to left circumflex is the artery that goes backward and encircles the heart. It supplies basically the left atrium and some part of the left ventricle. तो हमने पढ़ लिया है that there is an arterial circulation and there is one systemic circulation, there is pulmonary circulation, and then there is coronary circulation. Then the other part is then who is draining the blood or who is draining the impure blood of the heart. It is basically the cardiac veins, like when the coronary arteries further make collaterals and all supplies the myocardium, then this blood is collected by small cardiac veins, and then from the cardiac vein it comes to the coronary sinus. There is a sinus is basically a large vein in which this whole blood, after being used by the various muscles, it comes to the coronary sinus and then it is drained into the right circulation. Okay, this is the electrical system of the heart. And about this system we will be learning more in the next sessions of it. So for this session, hope you are clear. In this session, we have learned about basic structures of the heart. Where is it located? How is it made up of? And what are various cardiac structures? Pulmonary circulation, systemic circulation, coronary circulation, and how is venous supply of the heart. Hope you would like it. If you have any suggestions, please let me know. And thank you.